My name is Donna Zimmerman, and in the early 1990s, the Missouri Synod, North Wisconsin District, along with Pastor Rex Rinney, decided that they would like to start a new ministry on the north side of Appleton, one that would feature a school and a worshiping community and a child care. And that is something that really wasn't around this area yet. So the district actually called Pastor Rinney, and that ministry was started. And land was purchased on the north side of Appleton, and that's where we are today. At that time, it was all cornfields. There were no buildings at all around here. So that is kind of the beginning of how it happened. How my family became involved is that we were living in Decatur, Illinois at the time, and we're looking to move back home to Wisconsin. So one job opportunity for my husband became available in Appleton, so we came to visit. And we visited Faith Lutheran Church one weekend. Just didn't seem to be a good fit. So we kind of gave up the idea of coming to Appleton until the Lord kept kind of nudging us to try one more time. So we went and made another weekend visit and came and went to Faith Lutheran Church. And at that service, Pastor Rinney announced that he would be starting a new ministry in the area, one that would include a small group care ministry and a school. I was a rostered teacher for the Lutheran Church at that time, was teaching in Decatur, Illinois. So it sounded like a golden opportunity for us, but I still wasn't convinced until Pastor Rex kind of took us around looking at houses and finally said to my husband, well, if this is meant to be, then God will make it happen. And indeed he did. And our home in Decatur, Illinois, sold within a few hours of us nailing a sign to a tree, and throughout the process, God continued to show us that this was where he wanted us to be. So we came and started meeting with Pastor Rex and a handful of other families, and at that time we worshiped in houses, and a school board came together, and the North Wisconsin District Superintendent of Education kind of guided us along the way of how to find curriculums, how to write policies and bylaws. And so it was a work in progress. Plans were drawn up and made, and groundbreaking took place, and a group called Laborers for Christ came to the city and began working on the project along with some contractors. So throughout the process, it was always a very hands-on project with the very small number of church members kind of helping out their Laborers for Christ and building this building. And one fond memory I have is that shortly before the walls of the building were going to go up, the families that had been working on the project took Sharpies after a worship service and went around and wrote Bible verses on the door frames. And the first grade room right now is the door that I wrote on, and I wrote the Bible verse, "Suffer the little children to come to me and forbid them not, for such is the kingdom of heaven." And I have taught in that room, and that I always remember as very close to my heart of how this whole process came along. So we started with a child care and a worshiping community and a school, and the child care started in January, and the school started the following September with preschool and kindergarten and first grade. The first year there were a bunch of preschoolers. We had morning and afternoon program. I had 5 kindergartners and there were 3 first graders. There were no actual paved roads at that time. So one of the things that we always loved to do with the children is that we would sit out and watch them building the roads. The first house was built down the road, and we speculated of whether it would be a house or an office or what that might be. So we really saw this whole area grow, which has been very exciting.